Okay, so we're going to take a look at the Tan Sao movement now. Now the Tan Sao movement, Tan Sao means to lay flat or lay flat hand. It comes in the form in this sequence here. So coming from fist to your side, hand opens up and then it arcs through the center. So the Tan Sao can be used in multiple ways. Like many of the Wing Chun movements, it can be both offensive and defensive. Now the hand should be flat. And there should be a real, sometimes you see people do Tan Sao and their hands are like lazy and soft. There should be actually active structure. So your hand should just be activating like it's like there's water shooting through your forearm and fingers. So there's like a nice flat robustness to your hand, not a tenseness, just a good structural shape. So that's the first thing. Second thing is that as the Tan Sao comes forward, generally speaking, I'd say 99% of the time, the elbow arcs in towards the center. So you'll see, if I exaggerate it, just so you can see what I mean, it's this. There's an arc towards the center line so that you can dominate the center plane. So if we look at it from a defensive context, Carson might be throwing a left punch towards my center with his left. Yeah.
So the punch?
Yeah. And it can be used as a defense. So the palm turns up, I make contact with the wrist forearm, and the elbow arcs into the center. Now this allows you to deflect and stop a strike coming through you. So if there's another punch towards me with his right hand, Tan Sao. So you can see the Tan Sao movement works here. So defensively, generally you've got your hands in a guard type formation. Generally, you know, these type of guards are okay, these are okay, but this is where we generally start with as we begin through the Wing Chun system. And you'd be turning the palm up as you make contact. Now, the elbow arcs in, but also the forearm rotates as well. So that if I just break down that piece, you'll see that this turns. Now that turn, as I aim my Tan Sao into the center, if I turn my back just so you can see what happens, is that if I go from the guard to Tan, see how that takes his fist and his strike off my center. And then you couple that with the actual forward movement of the elbow as well, and that really redirects them off the center and it allows you to control the center line from the Tan Sao movement. So, there's a couple of ideas there for you. Palm is flat and robust, elbow arcs into the center, the forearm's also turning at the same time. Now, this can also be used offensively. So, you know, I don't suggest you use eye strikes until later in your skill development where you feel quite precise and strong, and when I say strong I mean more about robustness of structure so you don't break your own fingers on someone's skull, but it can be used as an actual eye strike or a throat strike with the points of the fingers, or even if you just turn the Tan Sao slightly outward, it can be used as a throat strike with an upper kind of knife hand throat strike, which is it's kind of like the Chit Sao except with a palm up, and you're coming through to cut through at the throat. It can be used in that sense as a strike. Or you can just, we call this like a Tan Sao punch, or in that you're just changing it to a fist. And that's probably a better form of attack for beginners because it's just a bit safer with the robustness of the actual fist itself. So it can be turned into a fist as well. So Tan Sao as a punch, Tan Sao as a punch. So once again, it can be used defensively and offensively. I would suggest when starting out, as usual with all of your shapes, just make sure you're getting the shapes correct. So like my master used to say, make your shapes beautiful first. And what that looks like, especially in your form sequencing, is that the palm stays flat, it arcs, the shape arcs into your center line, and you reach forward to about 3/4 extension. You know, if you're using it more defensively. If it's a strike, you can go further just for that extra reach and directness of structure, straight line structure for power. Okay, so that's a bit of ideas and theory on the Tan Sao. I'll see you in the next video for some exercises.